you fail to turn up. Therefore, it is a mystery to me why you always turn up like a bad penny the moment the doors are flung open and stay until the last song is played."
"Habit," he said with a resigned huff. "My father insisted it was imperative to be neighbourly, and that edict has become ingrained in my conscience, no matter how hard I try to ignore it. And my blasted neighbours."
"Maybe if you joined in, you'd enjoy it?"
"I sincerely doubt that."
"Ask someone to dance."
"No, I loathe dancing."
Which was a shame, as for a big man, he was a surprisingly competent partner. Not that she would ever tell him, of course, any more than she would ever let on how much she missed the close friendship they had once shared, or how much she still grieved for his father too. Caleb Parker had meant the world to her, and his loss had left a big hole in her heart, one that was made bigger by the withdrawal of his vexing son from her life on the back of it. It was sad, more than sad actually, but she and Ned had ceased trading niceties as soon as they hit adulthood. If she would have let him, she was convinced he would have ceased bothering with her completely, exactly as he had everyone else. That she still forced him to see her was a source of a great deal of irritation to the both of them, although undoubtedly for entirely different reasons. "Perhaps have a conversation with someone then." "With one person this evening, at least. Mrs. Outhwaite's niece is pretty." Mrs. Outhwaite's visiting niece, in Isobel's humble opinion, was perfect for Ned. She was a quiet country mouse who had grown up on a farm and at 25 was obviously in as dire a need of a husband as he was a wife.
"I'm talking to you, aren't I?"
Typically, he ignored her subtle hint about the newcomer, just as he had ignored all of her recent subtle hints about his romantic future.
"By my reckoning, and your logic, that's my one done now till next month."
She made no attempt to hide her exasperation with him. The man wasn't only the size of an ox, he was as stubborn as one. "You are only talking to me because I made the effort, although heaven only knows why, as you are hardly a barrel of fun."
"Then go find your fun elsewhere, Izzy. There are at least 50 other people here to gossip mindlessly with."
He always pretended to abhor gossip, but still always seemed to know it just the same.
"Save your scintillating conversational efforts for someone else who'll appreciate them."
He flapped one meaty paw in the direction of the refreshment table where a crowd of locals were chatting.
"And take your unsubtle matchmaking efforts with you. Or better still, go find a willing man to flirt with, as that seems to be your favourite sport."
He jerked his thumb in the direction of Mr. Bunyan, the local solicitor's socially ambitious new apprentice, who had a peculiar penchant for lacy cuffed shirts and had breath so rancid it had almost burned her eyebrows off when she had danced with him earlier. She might be desperate for her husband to whisk her away from Whittleston, but she wasn't that desperate.
"He's male, single, and has a pulse, so clearly fits all of your discerning criteria."
Ignoring the typical insult about the sorry state of her own romantic future and past, she pasted on a sunny smile and for his own good forged ahead. "Mrs. Outhwaite's niece is called Rose. Isn't that a pretty name?"
Deadpan, stony silence.
"Miss Rose Healy. Her father is a farmer too. Just like you, so you have heaps in common."
He shook his shaggy head in disgust. "You're wasting your breath, Izzy. As I keep repeating."
He huffed out more frustration than her well-intentioned and undoubtedly charitable efforts deserved.
"I don't have the time for your nonsense. When I want a wife, rest assured that I'm quite capable of finding one for myself."
It was her turn to scoff in disgust. "Now who is talking nonsense? You couldn't find a wife yourself if your life depended upon it. You are gruff, surly, unapproachable, and scruffy, and that is on one of your good days, and it will take quite a bit of work for you to turn any lady's head the way you are now." She swept a critical gaze down the long length of him, which, to be fair, wasn't the least bit unpleasant, no matter how much she forced her expression to pretend that it was, before she frowned at his thick, dark beard. "It will likely take several weeks."